Okay, so I've started with a piece of card that is basically 8.25 by 5.5, and I have scored it at 2 3/4, 3 3/4, 6.5, and 7.5. Okay, and then I also have to put a score line in for the bottom of the bag, and that's going to be the same width as your smaller panel that you've done here. So that's just going to be 1 inch. Okay, so kept it really simple. So now for cutting up. And don't worry if when if you are taking it out of a magazine or something and this last panel is a little bit shorter, because this is just a glue-in panel, so it doesn't really matter. That can be up even as little as 1/2 inch and it will still be absolutely fine. So I'm going to just cut up the bottom score lines, and they're going to cut up and meet the horizontal score line that's going to cross the page. So just cutting up those, and this last one just gets completely taken out, and then I'm just going to tab that, make a little notch to create a tab. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold on all of those lines. Okay, so I've folded on all those lines, and you can see how that's going to come together to create the little bag. Okay, and then I'm going to just fold up these bottom lines. Now, if you wanted to, you could reinforce the top edge, and if you were using a lightweight paper or even just normal paper, you can just pop a little piece of card in the 2 panels. So if I just show you the 2 panels that are the largest panels. Okay, so I will show you the ones that are going to create the front and the back of the card. Okay, I could actually pop, and I've got my big pile of scrap. I've got my big pile of scrap strips here. Pick any color. So I could get a pinky color, because this is going to be like a pinky color. So I could just get a pinky color, and I know that this is a 2 3/4 inch width. So I'll just cut a piece of card that's just ever so slightly smaller than 2 3/4. Okay, and I can just pop that there, and I can do another one, 2 3/4 inches. Ever so slightly smaller, and I can pop that there, and that just means that when I create my handle, there's a reinforcement there, so I'll just glue that down. So literally just to reinforce, and it doesn't have to even be that wide. I've just it's that wide just because that's how wide the strip was, so it could be even slimmer than that, but these are just my scraps. I'm really upcycling today because this is all just scraps. Okay, and then I shall just pop that there. So that's on the inside. Okay, I'll just pop that on the inside, and it's just to reinforce. And I'll do the same on the other panel. So pop that down. This is a double-sided sticky tape, because it doesn't have to be anything really heavy duty, to be honest. Oops, Daisy, come on. This is always fiddly. That's it, perfect. And then I'll just stick that just there. So it's just within the 2 sort of score lines, and obviously this is at the edge of the page anyway. And now I'm going to just, this small flap on this end, I'm going to put tape along that, and that's going to close up my bag. So I'll just pop some tape down. Actually, I'll pop that there because that's my measurements as well. And then 1 inch along the bottom. on the short edge, that should be as well. But you just have to make sure that 1 inch score line is at the bottom of your bag and not at the top of your bag, because that would be a little bit awkward. So make sure your orientation, if you've got a direction for your paper, just make sure that you get it in the right orientation. Let's go to the edge there. Right. And then basically, I'm just going to close my bag over, let it grip that tape. And there we've basically got the guts of the bag, and I'll just pop those 2 down and pop some glue on here. So I will put some glue on these small tabs, just so that they kind of stay in place and they don't flap up when they're inside the box. So we'll just put a bit of glue there and a bit of glue just on that opposite little tab. And then I'll push those in. That's just, as I say, just to keep them from flopping up inside the box. And then I'll sort that out in a wee second. I'll go inside the box with my bone folder in a second, or a ruler, just to make sure that those little flaps stick down properly. And then I'm just gonna pop some tape on this bottom piece. And then I can close that over. And then, as I say, I'll just grab my ruler, which was on the table a second ago. Okay, grab a ruler. And then I'll just tap in down there just to make sure those little flaps stick. And then you can just pinch the sides to create, you know, the nice sort of shape. Okay, so I can just pinch that. And then you want to, you know, you can use a hole punch, your crocodile, any punch. I actually used a little heart, and that's upside down. I'll probably not be able to go through 2 layers, so I'll just do one on this side. Actually, I don't really want to go, I don't want to stamp through the hello, to be fair. So I probably would use my crocodile. But so I think I like the idea that the hello is there, so I might actually go with just having 2 holes punched either side, rather than doing one in the middle like I did with this one, because I just punched a little heart upside down in that one and put a little bit of ribbon in there. So I'll go and grab my crocodile in a minute. I don't want to do that right this very second. But that's literally all there is to it. Really simple, and you've got a pretty little gift bag there. So yeah, and that's just made from the front of the catalogue. So I've just punched 2 holes, just using the little trio punch there, and it did actually go through all the layers, which was brilliant. And then what you want to do is just feed some ribbon through. So you could just pop it through so that it comes, actually I have to go that way, don't I? I have to go that way so that it's got this lovely little hello at the front. And then go in that way. And then I can just tie a little bow like that. Oops, daisy, fingers and thumbs. Tie a little bow. It's always pressure trying to tackle on that when you're online. Right, so I will keep it nice and long, I think, because I like that. And there you go. How pretty is that? And that was just out of the front cover of the magazine. And there's obviously, you've got the back cover, which has got pretty things on it too. You probably, if you came across. And you can do exactly the same, as I say, with the paper. You just, you know, pick a page that you like the look of. Just very, very gently score on the paper though, because it's obviously quite flimsy. But exactly the same measurements and everything. And yeah, you end up with a little bag that just looks like that. So if you were like sending, I mean, for me, it would be lovely if I was just giving some ribbon out and stuff. You could just pop it in there, or little, you know, jams or something would be nice. I mean, this is a lot more heavy duty because the front cover of that magazine is really nice. It's kind of like the sort of style of a Vogue magazine, or, you know, that really lovely heavy weight, isn't it? So if you have loads of magazines at home that have nice heavy covers, you could definitely make a load of these little bags.